Hey,
I think we're
hey.
live.
I think we're live too. How's it going, Enrique?
Going good. I love how we do the fake how's it going after we talk for the last 5 minutes. It's fantastic.
How's it going again? Anything change in the last 5 minutes of our conversation?
No, absolutely not. Just the fact that we stared at the monitor for like I think 10 seconds before we knew we were live. So
Yeah, and do you want to let everyone know what's going on with Austin right now?
um I'm actually pretty confused by it. I was kind of hoping that you would tell us because I don't understand the whole shirtless thing and I don't know. Is it for real?
Well, I don't. No, I don't think so. He is actually at the barber still, so I don't think he's going to be joining us right away. He might
Oh,
join in a little bit. Let me double check.
okay.
All right.
See,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I thought it was all a joke. Like I thought because of the whole shirtless thing and then barber, and I was like, okay, I think they're just messing around, and I didn't really pay close attention to it. So,
I think the shirtless part was a joke, but the barber thing I
okay.
think is real. Yeah. So
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
Austin is MIA right now and he'll be back as soon as possible. But yeah. And that's why you need to just do the hat trick. Uh keep a hat next to your desk and then you don't have to worry about your hair. You just throw the hat on and jump on business meetings and live streams, at the drop of a hat, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. So Jesus says, I understand the struggle of a last minute barber. Yeah, Kurt doesn't
Yeah.
need a barber. Okay, fair enough. And I guess Alex doesn't really with the hat. But Alex, you
With the
always go
hat.
black, man. Black shirt, black
It
hat, black everything. So.
makes my life easy. I don't have to make decisions. I literally, if you look in my closet, it's just like black t-shirts and a couple black polos, and that's it. And then I don't have to make a decision about what color am I going to wear today. It's just like black shirt. One
And,
less decision I have to make.
and America Money cuts his own hair. I thought he's like super rich. He should
What's up, Brando?
he should have someone. Brando, you should really have
Brando is
someone
like the
cut your
most
hair.
normal. Brando's like one of the most normal dudes you'll ever meet. I've been hanging out with Brando for weeks now, video chatting and stuff, and he is just like a cool, normal ass dude. So, like, he basically
He's
like he's like like one of my neighbors or something, right? Just like totally normal guy.
he's the king of
My
the tomb forks, man. Like he
He
owns the tomb
is.
forks. Tomb
And
forks.
my wife cuts my hair for the record. So like I need her to cut it again, but say
Okay.
saves me 20 or 30 bucks every month or two. She just she used to be a dog groomer, makes it real easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It keeps going
Yeah.
up. It's like 40 with tip and everything. It's like $50 now for a haircut, really.
Oh, it's crazy.
Crazy. Even the kids' haircuts are like $30. So, Alex, you said you're
Hmm.
trying to make your life less complicated, but I heard you've been trading a bit this week. How did it go?
Oh man, I've been speaking of Brando, my DGen buddy over there recently got me into leveraged trading, which I haven't done in
Oh,
years.
nice. Nice.
And
Let's go.
yeah, so I made a couple bucks, I lost a couple bucks, and it volatile times right now, right? Like I think a lot of people are waiting for this to drop off a cliff. But at the same time, like I don't know, just the swings lately, like multi-percent swings in just a couple hours. So if you
Hmm.
TA it right, um, I don't know, I've seen people in some of the Discord servers I'm in that do TA trading making killings on leverage trades. And this is not financial advice. Leverage trading is super risky. I lost $200 in like 5 minutes like that this week, and I was just like, "Oh, what have I done?" Uh, crap. But at the same time, like I made like $100 in like 2 minutes, right? So it's addictive, though. How about you? I heard. I mean, you do this on a big scale.
Yeah, it was kind of an up and down kind of week. Like last week was pretty pretty easy. I felt like this week was not. There was a lot of ups and downs. I really got kind of surprised by something what happened with EOS. That's EOS.
Mhm.
We can look at the chart, but it looked so freaking bearish going into like I think yesterday or the day before. I can't even remember. The days are all kind of like overlapping. And I thought for sure this was going to be like the easiest short ever. And you see this big old green candle right here, Alex?
Yeah.
That was after I took the short. or maybe right. I think I took the short down here over here on the way down, and I should have just taken profit at support. But then it tested this trend line a second time, and I thought, yeah, this time it's going to break it, and then it didn't, and then it hit that, and then it crossed this other kind of supply line, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to take an L here. But it looks so incredibly bearish at that point in time. I mean, still look, if you look at in the daily, look at that. I mean, that is still very bearish. I
Now,
mean,
do you follow things like that candle right before at the support line? Isn't that what they call like a hangman or something? And like that little red candle that looks like a rope and then a head, and they call it like a hangman. Would that be like, because a lot of times they say that could be a
indecision.
reversal
Yeah,
indicator.
yeah, reversal. It can. Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely can, but everything looks so bearish. And keep in mind that while all this was going on, BTC was underneath what I consider the magical number right now, which is 19,891. Below that number, you got to be super, super bearish. And so that even gave me more reason to think, man, that supply line's not going to hold. And EOS, I mean, this could be a huge, huge win. Because I think there was no support for like ever. Like it was like, okay, I'll see you at 85 cents or something like that, like down here. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of licking my chops and had to take a big old L on that one. So we'll see what happens if it kind of
How big is a
establishes it.
how big is a big old L? I told you how big mine was, 200. How about you?
The L on that one,
Yeah.
maybe like 3K.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that hurts, man. That
yeah. I
hurts.
can
Hey,
actually look it up.
word up, Holmes. My buddy Holmes said word up. Yeah. Uh,
Long at
the community members and all the friends we make out here make the L's worth it. Am I right?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So a couple of
Yeah.
questions already. Oh, well, first of all, before Luna, long at 19,760 SL, and then a flip to a short at 20. Well, okay. So what America Money is basically saying is that he sees a range. He sees it as a range bound asset right now, probably in a very low time frame. So let's look at the 1 hour, and I'm guessing that that's what Brando's kind of stating, is that there's probably a lot of resistance right there at 21. Yeah, and then flip to a short. Yeah, that's probably what he's saying. Okay, I see what he's saying. And he's doing it by the body, not the wick. Okay, I can see what he's saying. So yeah, oh my god, so he's playing really, really short term flip. So I probably shouldn't even be looking at an hour. For what Brando's talking about, it should probably be a half hour time frame, or maybe even less. Maybe it would make, yeah, so that's probably what he's referring to. But yeah, I mean, you can do really well if you know what you're doing with those short time frames. But I am not that good at short time frames, so I try to stay kind of like more in the 4 hour and up kind of trades. But what Brando's doing, man, you can make a lot of money playing that right, especially if it stays as a range bound asset, and like every 5 to 10 minutes you're flipping it. That could be very, very profitable. Sure.
Yeah.
So Crypto Knight asked about Luna. Alex, I have not really kept up with that. Have you?
I haven't. So I heard what was it, Luna C? A lot of people have been talking about in the chat rooms, and some people saying they made like it went up like 50% or something. I don't know. Let me pull up the chart, see what everybody's talking about. I haven't touched it because that whole debacle just seems risky. I mean, that's super degen, right? Like that thing,
Yeah,
like
I just feel like the second I get into that, because I already missed it and everyone's talking about it, is when I'll be gone. It'll be gone. That's when it's going to drop. Okay, so yeah, America Money said 1 to 5 minute chart. So yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know. The whole Luna thing, I don't know enough about it to play it. I know it's probably super volatile and it's probably at rock bottom prices, so it probably has a lot of upside. And then I don't know what was there news that came out for it. I don't know. America Money's got 4 million of them. Wow.
But what is that? What is, because it's super low, right? It's like less than a cent for sure. So what does that mean?
I don't
4
know.
million of them.
So right now I'm looking at the chart, and on
You want to
September
share your screen?
2nd, and I don't even know if I'm looking at the right chart, honestly. So like I don't trade Luna at all. I thought that thing was dead, right? So to me, I've been hands off on that. Let me check some of my trading chat rooms. Some people were talking about it.
So what is it? What is this, like Luna Classic is what this one's called, or what? I don't even know the ticker. Or Terra Classic? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terra
Okay.
Luna Classic, I think.
Okay.
Loon C.
Okay. So it's at 20, almost 24% of 10% of a penny. So these tokens are like, look at the circulating supplies. Okay. So wow. I don't think I'm
Yeah,
looking at the. Oh wow, this is insane, guy. Wow. Okay, now
I
I see
know
what the big deal was. It really
I know
went
my
up quite
buddy
a bit.
Dow King, he just made a video called like Can Luna 10x. I didn't watch it yet. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I was planning on it. So that one might be educational for anybody watching.
Well, it looks
Uh
like it did a 3x, Alex. So it was like at its very top on yesterday at 5:44 a.m. And now it's given back quite a bit. It's given back uh, about a third of that.
hmm. Can you share
Interesting.
your screen?
Sure. I don't know why I wasn't sharing in the first place. So
Yeah,
can I
somebody
make this?
said
You
it did
see?
100% in an hour yesterday. Oh wow.
Yeah, because right here is that 3 zeros? Yeah, 1 2, and then it went to 3 zeros, 3 3. So it did almost a 3x in, you're right,
Wow.
like 2 days.
That's
but
crazy. I mean, why did
but
it what happened? Does anybody in the comments, do you guys know what happened there? Like why did it pop off out of nowhere?
I mean, if there's some kind of fundamental reason, then yeah, I guess I don't know. This whole thing kind of, I just feel like the second I buy into it, it's going to lose like 40% of its value.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too.
Well, it doesn't look great now, but we'll see. YouTube people. So it was YouTube people that made this happen. Wow.
YouTube
Well,
people.
marketing can do a lot of things. I mean, it's insane to see how like the uh the tokens that are shilled by crypto banter, they're all kicking butt. Like GMX, now he's been shilling Gala ever since he started shilling Gala. It's been doing well. Like, I mean, it's just a sad true thing about crypto is that marketing does affect it, and YouTubers, especially big ones, hella
Yeah.
videos. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of those bigger YouTubers too, they can even move like altcoins with huge market caps, right? Like I know if I make a video about something, I have to be careful what projects I even mention because I can literally see me just mentioning the name of a project, it can go like up a whole lot. I can see money flow into it actively. So like I have to be careful with that stuff, as I'm sure you do too. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to be moving like Bitcoin or
No.
something like that, but these nano cap projects where tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars can really move the price.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to be careful about. Yeah, and
Well,
that's
yeah.
why I don't like pump. I don't like pump or do the whole moon boy thing because that can get you in hot water.
Well, no, I mean, we talked about this earlier, but let's bring it up again real quick. We'll use wine as an example, and it is a sign of the times too. Look, if you look at the wine chart, this is not what I want to show. I want to show this right here. The volume's only 22K, 24 hours. I mean, that's just brutal,
Hmm.
absolutely brutal, especially for this asset, right? That's used to doing probably 10 times that at least. So, yeah, I mean, so yeah, a couple of videos on wine right now by any YouTuber that has over 1,000 subs, you got to figure it's gonna do quite a bit to the price.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, because it says market cap 1.4, but no, it's actually 186K. So yeah, it wouldn't take much to get this going. So yeah, I mean, it's just tough times for DeFi right now, Alex. I mean, it's like, I mean, this is the perfect example of why DeFi is just hurting right now. 22K volume for wine, that just tells me that tells so much. And then you were talking about W share earlier. Um, didn't realize this. Look at that. What a pump today.
Hmm.
Amazing pump. And this is
Yeah.
just in the
I
last few minutes.
Last week I swung traded like I was saying. Like I think I bought in at $44 and I sold it like 47, and like I made like $100 off the play, but and then it just kind of fell off that cliff. I bought the rumor, sold the news kind of strategy,
Mm-hmm.
but then a few days later,
Yep.
man, it tanked. But yeah, there's a little pump going on right now, so that's
And it
cool.
didn't take much. Didn't take much, right? Because it's, I mean, 48K, 47K volume. So the
Yeah,
not
so
take.
what what was that buy, like $2,000 worth of buy pressure made it go from 15 cents to 20 cents, right? $2,000 moved that thing. So that's why, like, these tomb forks and stuff, that's why I love them so much, because I'm like, I'm not a whale, right? But I can actually, I put $1,000 on something. I can actually see the price move, which is
Oh yeah,
interesting. You just
yeah.
got to
No,
be
it's a,
careful, right?
so it makes them so much fun. But yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem. The liquidity. Yep. Yep. Like
Owen
American.
Owen Pant W share.
Why isn't he pamping M share instead?
Dude,
uh,
because DK's buying them out, man. DK's buying
he
up all
owns all
the
the
M
M share.
share. Yeah, I know
That's
he's
crazy.
always talking about it, and he is the most bullish, like, on M share of anybody I know.
Okay, well, here's M share.
Yeah, right. It went from 4 or like 3 up to like 5, 5.5.
307. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
66% in one day. Wow.
And I know one of the magic whales recently exited their position, like in the last few days. And so people have been kind of fighting over uh, that person's position. As that person's been exiting, other people have been trying to take over his position. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Can you tell any, or do you have any knowledge about elephants?
All
Chan
I
was
know
asking
about
about it.
all I know about elephant, I haven't done uh much research on it personally, because I didn't put money into it. But I had a buddy who was like super bullish on elephant back in the day, talking about how like the project owner is like an MIT grad and has like this pedigree and is like really like knowledgeable, and is like, anyway, it was going well, and then it got exploited, right? And I think the elephant money guy and drip founder, Forex Shark, on Telegram got into some like voice battles where they argued and they were calling each other names, and they were saying all sorts of vulgar things towards each other. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
big thing because Forex was like, hey, I pointed out this exploit in your code 4 months ago. You didn't do anything about it. And then it got exploited like I said it would. And millions of dollars were stolen and lost. And they recovered right after that happened. But that was the last I heard about it. All that drama between Forex and Elephant Money Dude.
Okay. Well, something's going really right with them right now. Look at this chart.
Mm.
We don't see too many charts like this in DeFi right now.
That's how their chart looked back in the day too. So back before the exploit, it was just a ridiculous looking chart. And I thought it was a scam or something. I'm like, this can't be real. When my buddy was
Mm-hmm.
showing, he's like, dude, I'm just making crazy money off this thing. It's just going up, 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 up. I didn't touch it then because I was like, that doesn't look normal. But then, the exploit happened and I kind of dodged that bullet. But then people bought the
Uh-huh.
dip and they made a ton of money when it recovered from that dip. So I don't know. That's something I do want to spend some time researching more. Did you ever
So
mess around with it?
no, it just sounds very, very familiar. Is it like a drip kind of project? Do you know?
Uh,
Or maybe Chan can tell us.
so I think there's like trunk and like herd, I think. Yeah, if somebody wants to explain more, I'm just going off of fragments of my memory of what I remember from people telling me about it.
But
But
it's not a tomb fork, right? It's like
no, I think it's somewhat like drip, where I think you get paid out in one of the things. Like, I don't know if it trunk is similar to like the drip faucet, something like that,
okay.
where you stake it and then it pays out a percent daily. I don't know. I could be butchering this. I apologize for anybody listening. I really haven't had time
Okay.
to dig into it.
I'm surprised Brando hadn't heard of it. Let's see. Oh, there. Stampede
Okay.
trunk is similar to drip. Okay.
And okay, so Stampede is similar to Drip, also known as Trunk, and Elephant is the asset. Good to know. Thank you, Chan.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't feel. I just know. I feel like such a noob when it comes to anything at all
Can
related
you
with drip.
can you zoom out to the daily, and I want to see where that where it fell off the cliff when it got exploited. I want to see where
Yeah.
it is now compared to
I,
that. Okay. Yeah. Look at this chart. This is nuts, right? Like that
oh my God.
parabolic curve when it was going up, my buddy was like DCAing in all the way up that thing. He's like, dude, this is crazy. It's like a money printer, blah, blah, blah. And then it fell off that cliff, and then there's like a recovery a little bit you could
Interesting.
see, but looks like it's coming back. So I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, I'm super curious. I'm gonna have to check this out later.
Dude, that chart though, that's absurd looking.
It's so stupid, but it could be fantastic. I mean, you know what also piqued my interest? I want to show you something real quick. Look at the buys versus the sells, everyone. 105 buys versus only 19 sells. That's interesting.
Wow. And then what's the liquidity? It's got 11.6 in BNB in the liquidity pool, and its market cap's 101. So about a 10x multiple over the value token. The market cap has
Hmm.
about a 10x over the value token in the liquidity pool. So
Okay.
that's I mean, it's hard to judge. You have to know the tokenomics of the project and how it works, but that's kind of typical for a lot of the stuff I see in DeFi, 5 to 10
It,
multiple.
yeah, no, I'm pretty interested. I just wanted to see something real quick. Maybe we can draw some kind of parallel channel. Yeah, it's like at the top end of it. So this would not be the ideal time to buy right now. But if it holds this channel and it dips down to the lower part of it, I'd be pretty interested down there. Look into the tokenomics of it. Okay, very, very deep liquidity.
Yeah, that's what my one buddy used to tell me. He's like, dude, the tokenomics are supposed to be excellent. And he was saying like, oh, the project founder, the MIT guy, he's a genius. I forget what his name is. And yeah, but then there's like that exploit, right? That Forex Shark was telling people about back in the day. If they fix that exploit though and harden their code and it's more robust against that kind of thing now, and they have the same tokenomic model, maybe it'll start doing what it did before. Bank teller. Thank you, Kanos. Thank you, bank teller. My memory isn't what it used to be. It takes me a while. There's
Because
just
you
so
never
much
sleep.
info.
Because you
I
never
never
sleep.
sleep. And there's just so much info out here, dude. I don't know if you have the same problem with me, but like all these projects and all this data and stuff, like I can only fit so much at one time in my brain. And when I have to go back and dip into long-term memory, it takes me a second. So especially when I'm public speaking like this, I can like my mind goes blank at inopportune moments, and I'm just like, oops, like it'll hit me later. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Get that a lot. It's funny how when you speak publicly, you forget how to speak all the time. It's the weirdest thing.
It
Um,
is.
I don't get
It
it.
is.
It happens to me every time.
I
Yeah, so
love this
thanks.
stuff though. It's great. It's great practice for that.
Hmm.
Like forces you to practice talking on the spot in front of a bunch of people. Like I know only like a handful of people are watching at the moment, but like this will probably be watched by thousands of people over the next couple of weeks and stuff. So it's like every time you're talking on YouTube or making a YouTube video, it's like you're talking in front of thousands of people all at once.
You kind of are, yeah.
It's bizarre. Yeah.
Oh, it's a weird world. So, what are your thoughts on W share? Do you think you're going to be able to find another value spot, or are you just like, man, I'm just
I
so
am
scared right now?
I'm sitting back, I'm watching what Lame Hillbilly's gonna do, right? So they made a bunch of promises. I mean a bunch of propositions, I guess, and it
Okay.
depends on how they
How do I get our
execute
pictures out
those.
of the way? Okay.
I think they were talking about
There
doing
we go.
something with the boardroom that scared some people. They were maybe talking about doing an LP in the boardroom instead of just a single stake in W share. So maybe doing like a W share LP in the boardroom. So when it's printing, you have to have an LP in there. And yeah, that would help
Hmm.
the liquidity, but it would also increase the sell pressure because people are gonna sell half their W share to make that LP, right? So when people instead of just staking single stake W share, they're going to sell half, make the LP, and then have it print in the boardroom. So that people might be foreseeing some kind of sell pressure based on that, which then it gets priced in early early on, like we might
Mm.
be seeing right now. And then
So
they're
I
also launching a DEX and as well as a like an EMP detonator style contract too. But before they do that, America Money, Brando here, he brings up a very good point. He says, wait till they launch the DEX, because if they launch the detonator before the DEX, you could have an issue with split liquidity pools. And so you want to have, from what I understand, if you
mhm,
launch a new DEX, you have to move your liquidity from where it is now, which is Trader Joe. You're going to have to move
mhm,
that liquidity over to your DEX. And then what you launch from there will trade using that liquidity pool rather than having to manage a split liquidity pool where people
mhm.
are doing things and finding arbitrage opportunities where that value kind of gets chipped away as the arbitrage is happening between those liquidity pools. Bots and traders and scalpers can kind of take a little off the top each time they find a little discrepancy, and overall that'll drain value from the retail traders as well as from the liquidity pools, um, feeding the arbitrage bots and arbitrators. Yeah, American Money says he will arbit to death, and I don't doubt that, Brando. I bet you will. Yeah. But it's all very good things to think about. So I think Lame Hillbilly and his team are aware of this now and are
Mhm.
planning the rollout of the ideas they had in that last Tusk talk the other night. And they're kind of coming up with their roadmap, their rollout strategy of what needs to come first and why. And so, for some of the reasons I just mentioned.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that all makes sense to me. I did want to talk to one of the points you made. I was going to talk to another point, but you kind of went into detail on it, and nothing for me to say. But um, I did notice in times of low liquidity, in times when people's bankrolls are maybe not the highest, with some of these tomb forks, when you take away the single staking, the problem is that a lot of them don't have or don't want to use the USDC or whatever it is that they're gonna, use it to LP it. They don't want to use that. So what they do is end up selling half of what they're going to single stake, right? And all that
Right.
does is just put more pressure on the protocol. So do you think that that's an issue too, or am I missing something?
Nope, that's a very valid concern. And generally, in my portfolio in DeFi, when I'm farming in a tomb fork, for instance, I might say I will have 80% farming in the pegged token LP, and then I might have 20% set aside for farming the share token, either LP or single stake in the boardroom, depending on where TWAP is, if they're at or above peg, right? So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, that 20% that I have allocated for that position as a whole, that little 20% chunk for the share token, if it's in pure share, I'm not going to add more from outside from my stable coin dry powder reserve. I'm not going to bring that into Parrot. I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably going to split it. I'm going to sell half, split it. Now, if you're watching for an entry point, that could make an entry point for you on the share token. If people start splitting their tokens, selling half of it to get USDC to pair it,
That's
it'll
fair.
it'll create a deeper liquidity uh, overall in the long run. But you might
Mm-hmm.
see a quick dip in the price, potentially like what we're seeing now as people try to anticipate that. So you might, if you're looking for an entry, not financial advice, but this kind of situation uh, where they kind of change up that whole model can open up an opportunity where you're going to see a dip in the share price as people split that LP, sell it, and then pair it, or sorry, sell half their share token to create the LP
Mm-hmm.
uh, if they do decide to go that way. So it might open up an opportunity for a play down the road. Again, it all comes down to execution, if they follow through in what they're doing, how they're going to do it. So I think because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment, people are kind of waiting and watching,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of I think what we're seeing on the chart here.
Well, I,
I
I see something very concerning on the chart, and I'm not trying to flood lame hillbilly or be anti this project at all, but I do see
yeah,
something very concerning. If you look at this bottom from August 3rd, so that was a while back ago. That was almost to the day a month. We're right underneath that. So if you were hoping for a double bottom there from a TA perspective, again, TA with tomb forks, maybe not the best area to use it, but for whatever reason, sometimes it does seem to work. Alex, that's not good. That's not good. It basically, there's no double bottom. We now have a lower low.
We might have to find new support TA wise, right? Like we don't know where the support is.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't now. We don't now.
This could be a falling knife. It could not be. I don't know. Like you said, TA on tomb forks because it's such like a.
But ask Brando, it seems to work more times than not. I don't know why. Or you guys tell us in the chat if you agree. I mean, with rebase protocols, definitely don't do it. But with some of these tomb forks that have some history, it does seem to work more often than it doesn't. And that does not look good. So, but that could coincide with what you and Brando said about waiting for the DEX. And maybe when the DEX comes out, that will be the bottom. The news will kind of coincide with the TA. So we will see. Yeah.
And what's Walrus doing? Right. Okay. So
that was Walrus. Yeah.
That was Walrus. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a little pop on W share today.
You see, Brando doesn't believe that TA works on tomb forks.
Yeah. I try not to, unless the community is, like he was saying, using that TA, right? Because a few $1,000s can totally move this. So yeah, I like to watch community and whales and what they're doing in these.
The whales dominate these things, man. They just do.
Yeah, and they're a necessary part of the ecosystem. So as unpleasant as whale maneuvers can be, generally you can wait them out, and or if you see an entry because a whale sells out, you might be able to get a good entry point before they start buying back in again, and vice versa. Like if you see a giant whale buy up like $30,000 of it and it just goes up to the moon, you might see a profit taking opportunity. It's all how you play it. And I know a lot of people are like, trust the process, farm this, roll that into this farm in the boardroom, blah, blah, blah. That's all well and great. But at the end of the day, like, always use your judgment on these things and don't get into the cult-like mentality. If the project is good and the team is good and the community is strong, hopefully the performance will reflect that, right?
Yeah, but the liquidity is not there. It's like I've said this on other videos many times, and it's like, look, 99.99% of the population could care less about your project and its community and the technology and whether it just signed some kind of partnership with some telecom company in freaking Siberia. Like no one's gonna care if the liquidity is not there and the market's dumping, right? So it just makes it tough. Now we are seeing right now a chart of MDB. Wanted to bring this up last week and I forgot. It's been one of the few DeFi projects that's been basically outshining everyone else. Alex, what are your thoughts here? I actually reached out to the team this week or last week and I was like, hey, congrats on being able to hold your own so well during this bear market. How do you see the bull run? And the team's very, 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 very bullish. They have a lot of excess, a lot of excess in their forecast, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So we'll see what happens with this project. Alex, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
And maybe you're oversharing, but what are you doing with your NFT rewards? Are you restaking them, or are you saying, hey, it's time to take some profit?
I'll be completely open with what I'm doing, right? I'm not the best trader. I'm not Brando out here, and I'm not you either. Like you're an excellent TA trader, in my opinion.
I'm no Brando,
right? And Brando's he's an effing shark. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm trying to figure this stuff out. But in terms of like projects I like the most right now, MDB is one of them. I'll be flat out like, yes, I have done sponsored videos for them and I'm doing a big giveaway for them right now. But at the same time, like personally, I do like MDB as a project. I like the MDB token. I like MDB Plus. I like Phoenix Plus. I don't even know what the hell Infinity is, but I'm buying it. I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even know what it is, but I'm buying it, right? Just because I'm so confident in that team. The community is like.
But what are you doing with your NFT rewards? What'd you do last week?
Oh God. So I didn't even realize like the rewards hit. And what I've been doing is I've been taking my MDB/BNB farm. I've been farming that LP, and every day I take the MDB that prints, and I just basically put it in the single stake pool. Like, so
Okay.
I single stake the MDB, and I've just been stacking those MDB tokens from the farm, and the NFT rewards when they hit, I rolled those right into the single stake without even realizing it. Basically, I was like, oh wow, I just staked a lot more than I usually do. What happened? And it was because the NFT rewards hit, right? And
Okay.
so yeah, I single staked them. They're locked up for like 25 days, uh, making like 25% APY right now,
Okay.
compounding on itself. But what I'm planning on doing is
Uh-huh.
not financial advice, obviously, but I've just been chucking cash into Phoenix Plus. So whenever I free up some cash from like a trade I've made, I chucked like $800 into Phoenix Plus this past like week or two, and that thing
Wow.
is just like snowballing. So
Wow.
because I think they're using Phoenix Plus to back their new Infinity thing that's coming out. And I don't even like, I need to dig down into the new white paper they just released on it. But like Phoenix Plus, I think is cool. It's like a more degen MDB plus
Mm-hmm.
with the kind of a gamified aspect to it where you can get infernoed out and then it
Mm-hmm.
dumps you back out to MDB plus. And overall, it's like 2% to enter and 2% to exit. But if you get infernoed out, it's an extra 2%. So 6% overall that you would lose. But like I put the money I put in Phoenix Plus a few weeks ago has already made more than that 6%. So I'm in the profit now. And if it dumps me out into MDB Plus, that's actually okay. Funny story. That's how I've been DCAing into MDB Plus. My strategy is just dump money
God.
into Phoenix Plus and wait for it to inferno me out into MDB Plus. It hasn't done
Okay.
that yet, and it's just been like building at a crazy percentage. It hasn't hit yet, so that
Wow,
strategy has
you're
worked really well for me.
you're doing the whole thing with this protocol. Wow.
Dude,
Okay.
like I said, they have performed so well against the overall market this past few months, and I think the team is just like so confident. They're all docs and everything. Uh, I'm just I don't even know what Infinity is, but if they're behind it and they're doing it, I'm buying it probably. Obviously, I'm going to do my due diligence. Do your due diligence,
Mm-hmm.
people. But
Well, I'm surprised to hear
yeah,
that because because of the whole Phoenix, the whole NFT thing, your wife and everything. I thought you were gonna start taking profits right away on it. So,
dude,
uh,
I probably
uh,
should. I probably should. Yeah.
so I'm a
So
little surprised by your answer.
that's kind of I kind of so what I'm planning on doing with MDB rewards that I'm getting, I want to I'm probably going to do what we talked about earlier. I'm probably going to sell half at some point
Mm-hmm.
into BNB. I'm going to pair
Mm-hmm.
it in an LP and I'm just going to put it into the MDB BNB farm for it cuz that thing's doing really great. It's like 230% APY, like 0.7% something approximately a day. And that's just been a consistent like $7 or $8 or I don't know, like $6 or $7 a day for me. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Brando. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So,
Yeah.
okay, so
Brando does not believe in locking anything up and yeah, I mean,
I
none
get
of
it,
this is
man.
financial
Yeah,
advice.
no,
Yeah.
I get where Brandon's coming from, 1000%. So, yeah, so I think that's
Mhm.
interesting to hear. My strategy is a little different, Alex, than yours with MDB. A part of it is just because of the market still being where it's at, and I don't want to have
Yeah.
too much exposure to BNB. So let me show
Yep.
the BNB chart and show you what I'm referring to. Um, and
And
I actually decided
that's part of my consideration of when I'm going to put more into the BNB farm for it is I'm kind of waiting to
waiting.
see where
Okay,
BNB ends up on the next big move. And
yeah,
I think in the next few weeks we're going to see a leg down personally, not financial advice. I don't know, but in the next 2 weeks we might be at the next step down. And if that's the
yeah,
case, then I might scoop up some cheap BNB to pair with the MDB that I've been stacking up.
yeah, yeah. So I hear that. I just want to show this. I kind of was messing around with this the other day. BNB broke the support line from back in June. So that's not good. It's tried to regain it not once but twice and failed both times. So from a TA perspective, BNB to me looks very very bearish, and that's why with me and MDB, I'm gonna keep my MDB forever, like not forever, but for a very 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 long time. But with like the NFTs, I'm just going to swoop up the rewards and anything like that, because of the fact that I don't want to have too much exposure to a project that has a lot of exposure to BNB. It just organically, it already has, on top of if you decide to take those routes with the farming or staking or whatever. But BNB, and look, Brando, I'm bullish on BNB long-term, big time. I think this will be in the thousands. Okay. In the thousands. I think this is going to be the third biggest token by far. And it's not even going to be close. It's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then BNB. And it's not even going to be close to who's 4th through 10th. But, so listen to me, guys. Look at this. This is really big. If you look at BNB and you look right down here at 184, if it doesn't hold 184, say it was to get to 184, and I know you're thinking, wow, that's already 33% drop. There's nothing here. There's some support here around 130, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 139. And then there's nothing, and I mean nothing, until 48. So long term, and so if Bitcoin does some of the crazy things that some people think might happen because of this bear market, because of all the macro, because of everything that's going on in every region of the world, the Fed is just starting quantitative tightening. They're going to be raising interest rates. Guys, I'm just saying that it's completely possible that you can see a BNB at $48. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's possible. But I cheered on. I want to see that happen, because then we could scoop up all this BNB at $48 and think about where that'll be in 2025. I mean, you could literally be in such amazing shape if you scoop up enough BNB, even at 130. Say it gets down there, 134 or 118 and 139, I think is where the resistance is. Even then, but all I'm saying is that, guys, if you see it not hold 184, it's going to get really ugly really fast. So that's my concern with BNB. But I'm with you guys. Long term, super bullish, super bullish. That ecosystem is so strong. They have all the money. You got to love it. You got to love BNB long term. Like, if you're not, I mean, you got to have some, I think, in your long term bag no matter what. But yeah, so that was my 2 cents on BNB.
It reminds me, in 2017, back when I was trading back then, I was trading BNB for like $15, right? BNB was like $15 back then.
In 2017, I remember that.
Yeah, and if I just put all my money in BNB back then and then just waited, I'd be retired right now. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Let's just have a little fun. Let's just say you would have put 5K of BNB.
And that's
right?
basically
what
basically what I was playing with back then. I was playing with $5,000.
It got up to what, 800? So 800 divided by 15. No, I can't be right. There's no way it's an 8x. Oh yeah, it is 8x. So you would have had 8. No, it's a lot more than that. What am I thinking? It's an 80x. Is it?
800
divided by 15. Am I losing my mind, guys? 53. Okay. Times 5K. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Look how much money you would have had if you just hold on. 266K.
Yeah, that would have
5K.
That would have bought my farm.
Please don't.
I would have been able to buy my farm in cash, man.
Yeah, 266. So yeah. So 10K would have been over $500,000. So yeah, we'll see what happens with BNB, but that's, again, the scenario I just played out is probably the ugliest of the ugliest scenarios. And it's, some people calling for Bitcoin and 9K and stuff like that. Seems hard to believe though, guys. It really does. I'm having a hard time seeing a 9K Bitcoin. I can show the support line that I think will be, when it's all said and done, I think this will be the support line right here. Doesn't look that good because I drew it on the daily, not the weekly. But look, it's the same concept that we had here. The support line that basically started this amazing run back in early 2020. It was very similar. There's a lot of fractals here. And anyone that tells you the bottom is, we don't know the bottom, because we don't know if it hits this line of support where it's going to happen. It could happen next week and it happens here at 11K. Or it could happen in freaking 6 months, and that means it could happen way down here at 5K. And that's assuming we get to it. We may never touch it again. But to me, that support line is going to be very interesting one to keep an eye on if things keep going the way that they might. We would need 11K BTC to see 180 BNB. I disagree with that, Brando. I disagree with that. If if BTC's at 11K, that's a 50% drop from now. You got to bet your butt that if BTC drops 50%, BNB is probably going to drop 75%. So, because that's just the way it is, right? So, 11K BTC, in my opinion, would be probably closer to like the 130 BNB at least. No, because that'd be 50%. No, you see that? I think that's if Bitcoin gets to 11K, I think that's when we can start getting to the conversation that 48K, that $48 one. I really do. Fear calls fear. I'm just talking scenarios, Don Sword. I'm just scenarios, But I disagree with Brando. If BTC drops 50%, BNB drops a lot more than 50%. When the market trend goes down, trade the shorts. Yeah, I mean it's been amazing trading shorts for the last few months. It's been a beautiful thing. So, Alex, what are your thoughts? You think we're gonna? I mean, I guess the real conversation to have, guys, is what happens when and if we hit 17.5 again, right? Because if we hit 17.5 and we just double bottom, then there's no need to talk about any of the other scary scenarios just yet. I think that's the conversation to be had is what happens at 17.5. So, Alex, if we get to 17.5, do you think we hold? Or no clue.
I don't know. Like, part of me thinks that we might see that 11K, but I really don't know. Anything could happen. I mean, we still are on a downtrend overall. We're still in that bear market, and we haven't really seen a clear reversal yet. So, like long term, I haven't started loading my bags again for BTC. I haven't seen an indicator of a trend reversal on one of the main things like I look for. Can I share my screen for a second?
Yeah, and then I do want to talk about something that America Money brought up with DCA and double downing, because I'm guessing he's doing that on leverage. All right, you should be sharing your screen now.
All right, so this is a weekly. These are weekly candles on the line break chart. So if you've ever used a line break chart, you come up to like normally where you put candles or line, go to line break. And if you look at Bitcoin on a 5-year time period and with weekly candles, this indicator has basically never been broken, right? And every time you have a trend of green, it'll keep going until you get to the first red. And so there's not like, so it's like green, 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 and then once you have a red, you kind of have a few red. But as soon as it goes from red to green, every single time there has been a run up of green. And these candles are not just 1 week; these are actually multi-week. So the line break actually combines weeks. It combines time periods until the price goes back up above a certain range and holds that range for the entire length of the candle, of like in this case a week. So we actually haven't had any trend reversal. This is the only indicator that hasn't been broken. So it's like, and this, so when as soon as this switches over to like, and it prints a green one, and it's actually half printed a green one. I thought for at some point we are about to have it, and then like last few minutes it failed and it printed another red candle on it. But so yeah, every time it's like red, 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 first green, and then you have a sequence.
Never seen this.
Red, okay, and then first green, then you have a sequence. So
dude, this is amazing.
Yeah, so this is the only one this is the only indicator that I know that hasn't failed on Bitcoin yet. And yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Anything can happen, right? So like there, like I bet you some whale out there with like 1 million Bitcoins watching this and says, "I'm gonna get you, Yabonks," and it's just gonna screw me on this now. But I'm basically waiting to see that first green one print, maybe the second green one print, and then I'm just gonna load the boat and hope for another.
And can you explain how you set it up again? How did you set that up again? Because you said it's dual weeks.
So I'm on Trading View, and I just went to BTC, and then I went to the time period for the candles. I went to 1 week.
Okay, hold on. BTC. This is very cool. All right, BTC
Dang
1
it,
week.
Nate. Nate said he's going to sell his 1 million BTC right now.
Right now, hold on. Let me open up a short.
So yeah,
Okay, so 1 week.
1 week candles, and
Uh-huh.
instead of and switch it from candles to line break. And the
Okay.
default line break settings are just fine. And then
Look
on
at that.
the
Learn something new every day.
time frame, I like to go to just zoom
There
out
it
all the
is.
way, go to like 5 year, go on the 5 year time frame is the best one for this. So yeah,
Wow. Okay,
it's
let's put it.
this trend has
Yeah.
never been broken.
You see, mine looks just like yours now, right?
And
Okay,
keep in
cool.
mind how I said some of these candles here aren't uniform. So if you actually hover over it and you look at the dates of the candles, there you'd think they'd be 1 week because we're in 1 week candles, but they actually combine weeks. So some of these might be 1 week, some might
Sometimes.
be three, some might be
Okay.
4 weeks. And it just depends on how long they're trading in this range before it changes. Yeah, Dawn Sword said, "Call me up when it turns green." Exactly, and that's kind of how I've been for the past year.
Alex, can I
I,
ask you about something really weird though? Because I don't know if it's a
yeah, yeah.
glitch. If you look at December 10th of 18, the next candle is April 29th of 19. That's weird.
Where? Uh,
December 18,
uh-huh.
and then look at the next candle. It
Yeah,
says
dude,
April.
that was 4 months. That was like 4 months. That one candle
Wow.
represents 12 weeks. So that's why the line break. And when you get some time afterwards, like I don't know, let's see. Let's see what Google says.
This is very interesting. Can I play devil's advocate for a second though?
Yeah, of course. So this is a
This
Japanese indicator, and it ignores time and only changes when prices move a certain amount.
wow. Interesting.
Mhm.
I've never heard of this. This you're blowing me away. I thought I've seen it all with charts.
And actually, I can't take credit for this. I don't know if you guys watch Crypto Kirby. He's a TA guy,
Mm-mm.
and he's got like 100,000 some subs, maybe more now. But I used to watch him
Jesus.
every day, and these are some of the indicators that I stole from him basically. So I want to give credit where it's due. This is coming from Crypto Kirby. Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
How
he's
the
an
hell do
interesting
you
TA guy.
how do you get 100K subs? I mean, should I start like jumping up and down and like dancing for you guys?
Yeah, hey,
Okay.
you'll get there. I've been watching your sub count. It's just been steady rising, right?
It's
And
very, very steady, but like tiny, tiny little steps, like
but
little
the other
people steps.
YouTubers I talk to, they say they're not getting subs at all in the
Mm.
bear market. So the fact that you and I we're still growing in a bear market, that must be good, right? Other people are saying they're losing dozens of subscribers a day in the bear market, and
Shut this to
sure, it's coming. Don't you worry. And
Thanks,
then
Chewy. Thank you,
in the
man.
bull market, I was hearing like you don't even have to you just put out any old videos in the bull
Mhm,
market and you'll gain
mhm.
hundreds of subs a day. And so the last bull
Insane.
market, that's how some people got like hundreds of
All
thousands of
those.
subscribers like that.
Okay, so before I forget, Alex, and again, I'm not trying to be difficult, but I think it's important to see things in different perspectives and sometimes not agree. But you blew me away. This will be part of my process, this chart. I just have one issue with it. It's never seen quantitative tightening, right? Everything on this chart is quantitative easing, right? Environment versus a quantitative tightening environment that we are in now. So that's the only thing that I can see that would maybe, just maybe, make this chart less trusting. But you can say that of any chart, really, of Bitcoin. But
Yeah, I
because
mean,
of the fact that they're
since I've been trading basically, well, I guess I
Mhm.
traded in 2006 when I turned 18, right? And I traded some penny stocks, just my gambling nature even back then when I was a young man. But since then, like what quantitative easing has been going on since 2008 or 2008,
correct.
2009, and
I mean, yeah, either the
my whole
last, yeah,
trading career has basically been in that.
in that.
So
So yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, all right. So let's talk about some of these questions
And for the
before I
record,
forget.
I don't think we're ever going to be out of quantitative easing. I think it's always going to be part of the equation and kicking that
Yeah.
can down the road at this point
Uh,
because that's one of their only like 2 tools that they have, is if things start
Oh,
going wrong, they can either print more or raise
uh-huh.
interest rates, right?
Uh-huh.
So they're going to try to raise interest rates or tighten things up a little bit for a while. And then once that starts getting wobbly, then maybe they'll go the other way with it again for a while. And so I don't think they're ever going to not be using this tool now that they've unleashed it.
Oh my God. Alex, sorry to interrupt you, but Crypto Knight said try that strategy on BNB. I just tried it on BNB.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Show me.
Well,
I
we're
have
at it.
not
Oh,
done this
yes.
on anything but
Okay.
BTC.
Okay. What does this mean? Is this like neutral? Is that like what is that?
Okay, so that means it's in process, right? And this is what happened to BTC a while back ago. I was watching it and I was like watching like it was like midnight, right? And I'm like waiting for the
Mm-hmm.
minute to click over for it to write it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a battle. Like other people were people were battling on that line to keep it above or below. And eventually it
Mm-hmm.
broke below for that time period. It didn't write it, but it does look like BNB is battling right now. Look who it is. Do you see who this is?
Yeah, he's he looks like he's having a good
Oh no,
he looks like he's on a spaceship. He's like
What's up, Austin?
What about, man? I am so sorry. I sat down and I just realized when I said that it was literally Labor Day weekend here in America. So her mom came to get a haircut today because they can't do it this weekend, and I just totally.
well, you're kind of cutting out, but I think you said
Yep.
totally something. But
Yeah,
the hair looks good. The hair looks good. That's all that counts. That's
you're
all that
cutting
matters.
in and out, yeah, but your hair cut looks sharp.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
And so one thing about
can you hear me?
Nah, you're cutting out pretty bad.
very, very bad lag.
Yeah. He's
So
like so summered out, right? With the shirt, the sunglasses.
he is
The
on his way
smile.
to the beach as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to point out on this chart one spot where this doesn't work on the BNB chart is look early on in, I don't know what year that is, but we're in November all the way back.
The third one,
There's
right?
only one green candle. So technically the trend that I'm looking for BTC doesn't work here on BNB because there was a time where one candle was printed where another didn't follow that's green. And on BTC, there's always, anytime there's one green candle, so far there has followed a second.
And you're not gonna maybe invalidate your position on that due to the fact that it was only the third week that it's tracking BNB, and BNB probably back then had very little liquidity.
Yes, but I'm just stating the case that like on BTC, that trend has never been broken yet. On BNB, someone could argue that, that got broke early on, but I agree. During the early stages of a coin, indicators don't mean much.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be really fun to track. It really is. So this is, again, it was break line, right? You go to the 1 week and then instead of candles, you go to line break. Okay. Yes. All right. Let's add this to the mix of things to track.
Cool,
this
man.
is really cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens with this. God, I'm such a nerd. I can't believe I'm literally excited about a new type of chart.
Dude, and how cool is it? It's an indicator that's never failed on Bitcoin yet. And Bitcoin's the main driver of the whole crypto market. So like if Bitcoin writes a green candle and it sticks and it's not just one of those temporary ones, then like you're going to see FOMO probably like you've never seen before, because I'm probably going to dump everything I have into it and at least write it up one candle. Because there are times where there's one time in Bitcoin history where it's only been one candle that it's gone up. If you look back in 2018.
Okay.
There you see where it's two green candles.
I do.
So that's the one time where it was close, but it's still technically the thesis still works, where you see one green candle on this chart, another will follow according to the history. even
I
if
see
it's
what you're
just
saying.
one. So like you could, if you wanted to play it super safe using just this indicator, if one prints, then you can go to like the next candle, and sometime during that next candle, you could take profits on a trade, right? And even if it goes up 20 more candles like you see on some of those big run-ups, you'd still be in the green on that trade if you did it. But again, if you buy in at that first green candle and you think you're going to go like 10x like on some of those run-ups or something, be careful, because there has been a point where it only went up
Yeah.
1 second
Yeah.
candle and then it went back down for a while.
I see what you're
So
saying.
just things to keep in mind.
Yeah, so a couple things. Nate Johnson said do weekly chart prints on Fridays, but shouldn't we do them on Sundays though? Because the weekly candle closes on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central, would be, or 7 p.m. now Central, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe that would make more sense, but yeah, I like the idea. Chewy then said BTC, BNB, and ETH are the most bullish coins. After the crash, that's a good conversation, right? Because I think that's, or no one knows when the crash is going to happen or if it already happened. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to take that approach. I'm going to try to mix in a bunch of stuff. I think I want to mix in a few play to earn type of projects and tokens, because I think they're going to have the most upside. Some of the games are going to be kind of home runs or zeros. I'm going to have some of those in my bags just because I think those could really hit hard. I don't want to just stick with BTC, BNB, and ETH, even though they're the three biggest, the ones I trust the most. I think they're also going to have the least amount of upside. So if we feel that the next bull run's coming, you got to have those other tokens in there. You got to have some of those L1s in there. I think I've been pretty vocal about the fact that it's of the L1s, I probably trust AVAX the least, just because the chart doesn't tell us a whole lot. I know that if I remember correctly, the low was like $13, but we don't see from a TA perspective, we don't see what happens if that support gets crushed. How low can it go? Nobody knows. Like nobody knows. And then now you throw in what happened this week with that douchebag, Kyle Roche is his name. Did you hear about that? Austin and Alex, about Kyle
Is
Roche?
that the AVAX lawyer
The
guy?
lawyer guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
What is going on with that? Is that like a whole big, is ICP or whatever making all that up? And
I hope not.
did they entrap that Kyle guy into kind of bragging about some stuff that might not be fully true? I don't know.
I mean, I guess it is entrapment in some ways. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the laws. Like, I think if you you have to tell that person it's being recorded, I think. But still, regardless of that, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's okay to break laws with entrapment or recording someone when they don't know. But what this Kyle Roche guy did was just horrific. I mean, just gross beyond gross. And the way he was bragging about it, and and the fact that 24 to 48 hours later, he dropped all the, did you see that? He dropped all the lawsuits.
I
So
did not
the
see
one
that.
against Binance, the one, he dropped them all that same night. So that tells you that he knew that what he was doing is wrong. He kind of got caught. He dropped them. I don't know what the legal verbiage is for that. So it just makes me also like not want to support AVAX. Like, ugh, like gross. That's really uncool. So Nate, layer twos are getting so good. Yeah, I mean, layer twos are the future, right? I just don't know with some of these layer twos, which ones will be the best investment, will give the best return. I know that OP optimism, I know that the supply is really, really high and it's going to keep inflating. So the tokenomics of that project suck. So as an investment, it's kind of like, ugh. So I don't know. It's good. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see. But layer twos are the future. I just don't know from an investment perspective and returns perspective, if it's going to be the best place to park money. But I don't know if you have any strong thoughts about that, Alex.
I think having a little bit of exposure to some of the more, some of the smaller market cap stuff could give you a lot of upside. So anything that, I'm probably going to be mostly in BTC and Ethereum and BNB, but I will probably put like 10-20% of my portfolio into some more high volatility, smaller cap stuff to have some exposure to more upside. Because if some of those companies go to zero, like it won't hurt as bad. But if a couple of them do like a 10 or 100x, then that would be amazing and might even outperform the 80% of my portfolio in the larger cap stuff like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, I agree completely. I don't know where Austin is, but it looks nice there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Say something else.
Hello, testing.
Yes,
I think
we hear
we're good
you.
now. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so as I was driving, it was really funny you said about AVAX, because I was going to answer someone's question said, yeah, they said, so Bitcoin, BNB, and ETH most bullish. Like, from a chart perspective, trash right now.
You're breaking up pretty bad again. Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad.
What about now?
All right. Oh, I think that might be better. Keep going.
Okay, there we go. Maybe it was my camera throwing it off. What you said about AVAX earlier was that while like from a chart perspective, it probably does, and it is. But I've been noticing that a lot of projects that want to kind of go the business route, conduct business, like not just these Ponzi projects, but actual true projects that want to. I've been noticing a lot of them, for some reason, are moving to AVAX. Now I don't know why. Why I would like.
You're breaking up pretty bad again.
Speculate.
So I think what you're trying to say is that a lot of the kind of Ponzi-ish kind of projects are going to AVAX. Is that, Alex? Is that what you got?
No, I couldn't make out that last part.
I couldn't make it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe try calling back in. That would be good.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. Well, maybe he'll call back in.
Yeah.
So,
he was saying the opposite. More business related projects are moving to AVAX. So I don't know. Maybe it's the lower gas prices, it being EVM compatible, having a lot of tools and DEXs built out on it already. I don't know.
I mean, I just don't know. I've heard devs that have projects on AVAX say that they feel the tech is better with Phantom. But Phantom seems to be losing a lot of momentum, and a lot of people are getting less and less excited about it. So I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. But yeah. So I don't know. ETH chart is at 1568, but indicates 1935. Crypto Night, I see ETH chart at 1571. So I don't know. Maybe your chart just kind of bugged out. I don't know. And then must be using Cricket. Yep. I guess Austin's using Cricket. So yeah, I don't know like what else. I think the only other question we didn't answer, and I want to leave this to you, man, because I think you know more about this project than I do, especially of late. Carrion asked, what about Titano? What's the latest with Titano? I haven't kept up at all. Do you know?
I haven't kept up either. Maybe Austin, man. Austin would be the one.
He'd be the guy
to know that one. And I haven't talked with David in a while. Normally, me and David catch up every week or two. I need to give him a call.
Let's look at their chart. It's probably gonna look like not great. But they stopped rebasing, right? Or no? Did they stop? I see. I'm so out of the loop. Did they stop rebasing?
I don't know, man.
Okay. Maybe someone Titano or Titanic, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, can't. Titano launched a pool. It failed. It's dead.
I heard something. Wow. Yeah, I heard something about like a pool where you like stake Titano and earn stable coins, like a stable coin staking pool type thing, or maybe you stake stable coins. I don't really remember. There's just so much information that flies through all my platforms that it's hard to dig deep on any one thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you can't be bullish about this chart, guys, in any way, shape, or form. I mean, there's just nothing here. I mean, I guess if it's still rebasing, and
if it's rebasing, if the rebasing's outpacing it, maybe some people are making money on it. Like I got one dude who says he's making like $1,000 a day on Titano still, right? So
How much was he making back weeks ago then?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see nothing bullish here, guys. I would run for, I mean, nothing against David on a personal level or anything like that, but I would run for the hills. I would not put $1 into this. Yeah. And
So
there's just something
I don't
weird
know,
here,
man.
Alex. I do want to ask one more thing about this. I don't want to talk too much about this. They have almost 80,000 holders, but their volume's only 37K. Can you riddle that? Okay.
No, I don't, dude. I don't even, like I said, I haven't looked closely at it in weeks.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of making some assumptions right now. And like even my one guy in my community that said he was making $1,000 a day on this, that was a couple weeks ago too. So like I haven't caught up with him in like 2 or 3 weeks. Time's weird in DeFi, man. It's like a time warp.
It is weird. It is very, very weird. But yeah, so yeah, sorry we can't add more value in regards to this asset, but it just looks like a good thing to avoid, and I'll just pretty much leave it at that. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's about it. We're at about an hour. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover today, Alex?
Oh man. Things are just crazy right now. People, I think, are nervous of where the market's going. Also, I heard that Mt. Gox is releasing their next set of Bitcoin around September, September 13th ish. Don't quote me on the date. Like, look it up yourself. But I hear they're going to be dumping a lot of Bitcoin, like 150,000.
Yeah, I think it's a nothing burger, man. I really do, because everything that Mt. Gox has done takes forever. So I think it's going to be one of those things where you just see little by little will get thrown into the market over a really, really long period of time. So I really do think it's going to be a nothing burger. I really, really do. I mean,
you think it's already priced in?
And I don't know if it's completely priced in, but yeah, a little bit. But I think the biggest, I think what's going to have a bigger effect on the market is the day after the merge, the 10% of ETH that has been staked, that it's going to be released. 10% of Ethereum staked is going to be available to be thrown into the market. I think that's going to have a much bigger effect than this Mt. Gox thing on Bitcoin in a small amount of time. So that's, if Mt. Gox dumped all at once. Well, if they did it all at once, yeah, that'd be huge. But Nate, I think it's going to take a long time. So I think it's going to be like, as far as the price action, I think it's going to be a nothing burger. Not worried about it at all. Stefano, wake up, guys, and check the blockchain. After a few months, project devs and admin are constantly selling their shares and tanking the project themselves. I'm guessing he's talking about Titano.
I'm not sure about Titano. It depends on the project. So that's one thing I like to ask projects that I do AMAs with. I say, how many tokens have you guys allocated to yourselves? And what do you plan on selling them immediately, or do you have like a vesting period? I think you kind of have to be vigilant on that part. So whatever tokens DeFi you get into, like ask around about the devs if that's something they do. Yeah, but that's something people should be aware of. So thank you, Stefano. People should definitely stay vigilant out here. And if they're in love with the DeFi project, ask how the team's making money, right? Are they getting salaries, or do they get team tokens? If they get team tokens, what is their selling schedule like for those team tokens to take their profits? And teams and devs need to get paid, right? Nobody's out here doing this for free. Nobody's like altruistic beings, just like, I love DeFi, I'm going to volunteer all my time to make this fun project for you guys. No,
well, supposedly Richard Hart is.
Yeah, okay. He's out here to make money too. Everybody's out here to make money. And like, whether it's selling team tokens or getting salaries, like, it's okay to ask that kind of stuff. And like, and it's good to know. And most teams should be upfront about that. And if they're not, and they say, oh, we don't get paid anything, we're just doing this because we love DeFi, they are rugging your ass, right? If somebody says they're not doing anything, they are stealing from you somehow. Like they're like, I'm a developer, right? Mm-hmm. I don't do shit for free unless it's part of my charity. Like I literally set aside hours a week for charity, educational stuff for the community, but I know that's charity going into it. I state that up front. The other stuff, like I'm running a business, and if I'm making a project, for instance, I'm not going to invest hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work and labor and money and risk just for no reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get paid out of the team's salary fund, which is 1% of all volume or whatever, or the team gets a quarter of all the tokens in the beginning with a vesting schedule, and we're gonna sell those every couple months to take our salaries, like an equity type thing. But if they're not, if they're saying they're not getting paid for this at all, and they don't ever plan on it, they're like, if they're not getting compensated that way, they're going to get compensated another way. And a lot of times that is a rug pull or secret wallets that were whitelisted that they bought up at the whitelist to the max, and then they're selling those tokens pretending they're somebody else. There are a lot of ways to get paid out here as a developer in a project, and so just be careful. If somebody, I like teams that say, "Hey, we're going to get paid X amount of dollars a week, or we're going to have these team tokens vested, and we're going to sell X amount every month." And then like these are the mutually incentive benefits. Like if we do well, or if the project does well, we do well. But this is how we're getting compensated. It's when it's when people say, "Oh, I don't do it for the money," and I'm just like, "Well, why are you working full time doing this?" And there's a lot of risk out here, right? You're putting yourself on the firing line in terms of regulators, death threats from people. If your project if price goes down, death threats go up, right? It's like inverse. And see it, Chewy. Yeah. So
Thanks,
man,
Chewy. Take care.
everybody, just be aware. Developers are people too. They got bills, they got families. Yeah. So
Okay, so
they're gonna
a
get
great
paid
point,
one
man.
way or another. And if they don't tell you how they're getting paid, or they say they're not getting paid, they're probably doing something kind of shady, is my opinion.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's great to bring up. Ego token, not familiar with it. I guess this would be it on TradingView. Maybe it's on Dex. Maybe on Dex. Ego token. Have you heard of that,
I
Alex?
haven't. Nate
Okay.
said Hart gets paid in Gucci, and
Saw
I
that.
would say it also gets paid in Louis Vuitton as well.
Ego. I don't know. This can't be it, right? 24 volume, 18K. DC, is this it? Does this look like it? I mean, looks like it formed a nice little. Wow, interesting. Could be interesting managed trading system. Alex, what is a managed trading system?
I have no idea. Is that like an LMS like we've seen with Horde and Spring Game, like a
Oh,
liquidity management system? Or
nah, it doesn't look like it, man. This chart doesn't look like that at all.
no, it doesn't.
No. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Mark, it's got some decent liquidity, 150K. I don't know. Volume's really low though, man. 18K. Looks like it's topping out a little bit. I don't know. I mean, just from looking at the chart, yeah, I can't really. I mean, this chart looks interesting, but also doesn't look like. I don't know. I see a lot of things where you can get wrecked here. Only 34 buys, only 12 sells. Yeah, no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many tokens out there. What is it? Like 18,000 tokens are out there right now. So I don't know. This could be a easy way to lose a lot of money or make a lot of money from what this chart says.
And that's the thing. Like, so many people recommend so many projects to me every day, and like I'm working like 16, 20-hour days right now doing this business, and I don't have time to like sit down and go through all these new projects that come across my plate. Like only a couple, maybe one or two a day that I can like briefly look into. And then it's like certain projects that I'm working with, I'll do like a deep dive in and really understand. But there's so much info and so many tokens, like you said, Enrique. The amount of tokens and projects is, even in the bear market, is just exponential. It never stops. So there's just so many small projects that might be dead in a week, a month, a year, some that might not even get out of the pre-sale stage. And I have so many people, and I can't tell if they are shilling me a project or if they're actually interested in it as a retail trader. So I'm always like questioning. I'm like, all right, have you bought this token? Are you in it? Is that why you're asking? Or are you asking because you're part of the team, or or something like that. I don't know. Like my Twitter is unreal with the amount of people that say, you need to look into this. You need to look into this. I get tagged on all sorts of like super small, sketchy looking projects. And I'm just like, I don't even have time to Google it. I'm just like, I got these other projects that I'm working with.
But then it hurts so bad when like 2 days later, it's like at 300%. You're like, oh my gosh, like they told me. So,
but man, if hindsight's 2020 though, like for every one of those, I have 10 others that were rug pulls, right?
That's true.
Or just like went straight to zero out of the gate.
All right, Alex, this question's definitely for you, not for me. Crypto just dropped 1K in drip. Your thoughts?
I like drip personally. I have 515 drip in my faucet right now. So my drip faucet is still growing. I have not taken profits. I think I took profits way early on to pay for gas fees when I first started messing in DeFi when I had like less than 10 drip. But now I'm just like hydrating and doing airdrops for my like very small team. Like I've airdropped 3 times the amount of drip tokens that I've received in like referral commissions from those like 15 people. So like basically it's my form of just like giving back to some of my supporters. I've given out like 77 drip tokens or 75, but I'm just hydrating. So I hydrate half of them, I give away half of them, and I'm up to 515. If that price goes up again, like it got down to $4 and then it went up over 10. When it did that, my drip faucet got massive because all I've been doing is compounding this whole time. So during that time period, like my bag was huge. Now it's back to like $3,800 worth of drip. Last I checked this morning, 515 drip. At some point, I think there is like an escape velocity in my head, at least, like where that 1% of drip tokens, once you're past, there are websites where you can see basically where you fall in line of who has the most drip tokens in their faucets. And I'm like 30%, 40% along the way there. And at some point it just drops off a cliff where you're just like in the minority. And at 1% of that drip every day coming back to you, if you have 1,000 drip tokens, that's like like 10 drip a day. If you have 10,000 drip tokens, that's like 100 drip a day. So at some point, I think, I don't know, not financial advice. I like drip. I'm hopeful on it. They're still building things out. I heard Animal Farm. Keep in mind, Animal Farm's been delaying things forever, but I heard Animal Farm sometime like mid-September or mid-October, I forget which, they're opening back up completely. That's word on the street from the people in my community. And I'm still waiting for the new drip UI, like everybody else. Like, where is that? So hopefully the new drip UI comes out soon. That'll be bullish. And then, yeah, I think they're doing something with like a sports betting company. I don't know, man. Do your own research on that one, but prices are low right now. I have people who are DCAing into it. I'm still just compounding, and hopefully in a year from now, I'm a drip millionaire, right? That's my hope. That's my hope with like everything out here. Brando will probably chime in and call me an idiot and say I'm exit liquidity. He might be right too. So
he might be. Be.
But I can say this: it hasn't, as far as I know, it hasn't been exploited yet. As far as I know, it's doing what they said, which is pay out 1% a day in drip token itself, and it's been running for over a year, and the community is still super intense. The drip community is like fervorish. They're like really intense on YouTube, man, and on Telegram. And to me, that's a good sign. Community sentiment's huge in DeFi. So like drip community, if you have them backing you, you've got a lot of people and money supporting you. So new projects often try to win the hand of the drip community because they're so intense and powerful, right?
Interesting.
Forex minting tokens to pay himself. Maybe. I don't know about that. I know in the round robin referral system, it goes up like to the next layer, and then it goes up to the person who referred them, all the way up until it gets to the developer. So at some point in that whole thing, the developer wallet, I do believe, gets in that, it's a round robin system. So like it goes up, like you get a payment. Okay, the next time they deposit, the next person up gets a chunk of it. and then the next time a next person up gets a chunk of it, and then the developer, and then no one, and then it resets at the bottom again. And I think one of those wallets is the developer. So if that's Forex's wallet, like he's probably made a fortune off this system, right? And I would love to have an AMA with him actually, and like ask him like how are you compensated and your team and things like that.
Yeah.
Can you explain all that? Because like I said, if they don't tell you up front, or like if you ask them and they say, oh, I just do this because it's fun, well, they're making money somewhere. So I'd love to ask Forex, and maybe he's talked about that already on other AMAs. So maybe somebody does know that answer. I don't want to say something that's incorrect on that topic. Yeah.
Damn, it's a lot.
What about you? What do you think, Enrique? Are you in drip?
I'm not. No. I missed the whole drip thing, and I'm just not in it. So, like you said, there's so much stuff to track. I'm trading a lot, watching charts a lot. It's like just the time to try to understand that and really, really get to feel comfortable with it. It's very time consuming. So it's like, I just rather just focus on what I kind of know. But it is DeFi. So new stuff will come up over and over again. And you do have to be open to learning about it and knowing what, because that's how you're going to get a hold of the next big one, right? Whatever that is. And we've talked about this before. We missed the mark, right? We weren't here for Wonderland when it made money for a lot of people. Titano, that made a lot of money for like the Jesse Eccles and those guys that invested around that time back in like late December.
That was me too. I got in late December on Titano. I put
were fine.
I put 3K into it at the top too, like at the top. Like I bought at the top like an idiot. I always do.
The top was like February, man.
The first top. So I bought some the first time it topped, and then I bought more later. Anyway, I think I put like 3,000 total into it, and I ended up pulling out 9,000 or 12,000 over like the next couple months. And I had like a strategy. I'm like, wherever the price was up a certain percentage, and I was looking like at RSI, and I was basically looking when more people were buying, I was selling, and then when it was coming back down, I was compounding, and then I would sell a little bit, and then I'd wait, and then I would sell a little bit when the price was up. So that way the tokens I were selling were more valuable. And then when they were less valuable after the dumps from like Pancake Swap and stuff, I would just hold and let it compound. And I think I ended up doing pretty well on that. And then I got out of Titano completely like a month or two, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Dude, I can't remember anymore. It's been so long.
Wow,
but
you held it that long. Wow. Okay.
Well, I was selling off periodically, and then I did a final giveaway with like my last 20,000 Titano tokens. I went on Austin. Back when I was first getting to know Austin, he's like, do you want to do like a collaboration with Operation Give Back? I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you have any tokens you want to give away? I'm like, no. And, and I was like, I don't know. I said, I know you guys, I know I'm like, I know you have a big Titano community. So I'll do a Titano airdrop. And I literally just airdropped my Titano tokens to whoever won the contest that day for Operation Give Back. And I just like gave somebody all my tokens, and that was like the last I really looked at Titano closely. So,
okay. Well, you did all right with it. You did all right with it. I sold mine too soon. That was what I did wrong. I sold, I can't remember where it was, but sometime in January, I sold too soon, because then in February is when it went nuts, and it, kept rebasing for like 2 months straight. It is what it is.
And I was just selling my daily rebases during that whole time period, all the way through like March and April. I was just selling every time it went up a certain amount. I'd sell my 1 or 2%. And I just did that until I think I 3x'd on it.
Well, it sounds like you 4x. If you got 12K out of it, your 3K investment. Yeah.
3 to 4x, somewhere in there. It was my best play in DeFi by far. So whatever people say about rebasing tokens, like, they long-term, they might have problems, but like, man, if the community sentiment is right, and like the hype is there and everything, like, man, back in the day, those rebasing tokens were killing it. And like, I somehow caught that wave on Titano and just got lucky. And I'm you know, we're now in a bear market with DeFi and everything, but
Oh, it's brutal. The
it's
Titano
brutal.
chart I just showed from Dex is wrong because I know for a fact that Titano got as high as 18 cents. I know that for a fact, maybe even 20 cents.
It got over 20 for a little bit.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think it touched
yeah, so
20,
that
or maybe it
chart's
was for like a day or two, went above it.
Yeah, because I remember I sold all of mine, I think, at 12 cents, and I just felt so dumb. So I remember that. And it was not that I sold 8 cents too soon. I sold 8 cents too soon and like 2 months of rebasing too soon, you know?
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway,
I think when the bull market's going strong, rebasing tokens might come back in style. And like if you get in early or whatever, like there's a way to play them. Like you gotta kind of watch the rebasing versus the price action and just watch your overall balance. I don't know. I miss those days. That was a good period of DeFi versus now where like everybody like hates rebasing tokens and like we get so many now rug pulls with rebasing tokens.
it was so much
So
fun. I mean, for
yeah,
me, it
but
was the Tomb Forks. That's where it was at. Like it was, the swings were amazing with so many projects. It was,
oh man,
it was wonderful.
I
So
talk with people out here who have made fortunes during the Tomb Fork era, like on Tomb, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, bunch of those ones. Man, I wish I
Kryptonite's
was
right
more
me
active
too.
then.
Yeah, those were some fun times. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I wish everyone a very happy, for those of you in the States, Labor Day weekend. It's going to be great. And
Yeah.
Alex, anything else?
No, that's all I've got, Enrique.
That's all I got.
I've got way more. Are you kidding me? I could talk like this all night, but
I know.
I don't want to exhaust people, so I will shut it down.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Those of you that were interacting with us in the chat, thank you so much. Made it so much more fun. I know we had, both our channels going. I think Austin had his channel going too. I don't know if he had people watching on his channel. I know that he had it toggled. So it was a few of us in there. And yeah, for those of you watching on the recorded version, feel free to type in the comments what you would want us to cover next week. So guys, have a good night. Alex, talk to you later.